It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. The action is only moments away, and it's all up next.
From the home of many a title run and one of the NFL's most successful franchises, you're looking live at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Ready to get this game started. Here's John Parker Romo. And we're off and running from Gillette. Fielded at the 7. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
When Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year, it was really hard to find another comp. You know, the NFL, we love to always compare and contrast guys from different eras or project them moving forward. But there just were not many stories like Geno Smith, who just waited and persevered a decade in the NFL before he flourished. But what came to life finally was just the arm strength, the accuracy, the playmaking ability that was there at West Virginia, and it just took some time and maybe a little love from Pete Carroll at that time to really elevate his confidence and elevate his game.
Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. Didn't get that one off in time. This is going to be a delay of game. Man in motion wasn't set in time. Just couldn't get a snap away before the play clock expired. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Running it after the penalty. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. That was Harold Landry making the tackle. That's 5, it looks like, on the play. So now it's going to be 3rd and 8.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Throwing on 3rd, Smith. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Here's the one back on the handoff. And he'll get this forward, and he's stopped at the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
They go play action. Here's Smith. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, so it's going to be 3rd and short coming up.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
The handoff on 3rd and short. And they take him down right along the 30. That's good for 7 yards. And that's good for a Raiders first.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
He gets this to Michael Mayer. And he takes this one nearly to the red zone before going out.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down, well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Second and 3. Caught. Trey Tucker makes the play. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up second and 10.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
From the gun, Smith. He brings it in. And this is down all the way to the 3. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with first and goal.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. First and goal. Shotgun snap to Smith. And this will be a Las Vegas touchdown. The Raiders finish up an excellent opening series. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established and into top gear right here early on.
Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Has this at the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. So out come the Patriots, ready for their first possession. Leading them out, someone with a big arm and a field general's mindset, Drake May.
Drake entered the league as a top 5 pick because he checks a lot of boxes. Just the way you want him. Tall, athletic, great arm. 1 year at North Carolina, put on an absolute show. And yeah, second year as a starter took a little bit of a beating and some question whether or not he was still a top 5 pick. The ability, there's no question there. It is now the consistency in taking care of the football that will be a big part of Drake's career.
Right to the air with May. He'll get this to Henry. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. On play action, here's May. This one is hit by a defender and winds up incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And what will they dial up on 3rd and short?
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
Now for the first time, it's a give to the rookie from Ohio State. It'll be a quality gain on the run, and that also brings us to the end of this quarter. So that connection for a first will bring us to the end of the first. 7-0 is our score. More from Gillette Stadium in just a minute. Back and ready now for the second quarter. It's Patriots football. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. Finds his man. It's Mario Douglas. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Going play action, May. He fires one deep down the middle. The pass falls incomplete, but was there a reason for it? We see a flag out there. So not a holding call. One of the linemen actually too far downfield that time. That's what drew the flag. So now, after the penalty, it's 1st and 15. They'll run here following the penalty. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. They made it 3 yards on the totes. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Here we go, 2nd and very long. Throwing quickly, but it's incomplete. Mario Douglas, the intended target. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Now May on 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Patriots punt team coming out with former 6th-rounder Bryce Behringer to do the honors. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And the Raiders' drive is going to start deep on their own side of the field. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. To the well again. He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Brought down by the veteran Carlton Davis. Looks like no gain on second down, and that leads us to 3rd and 6.
As a corner in this league, well, you can go to the Pro Bowl if you can cover. When you want to be an all-pro, you stick someone like that.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. They don't get this snapped in time. This is going to back them up. Man in motion wasn't set in time. Just couldn't get a snap away before the play clock expired. Backed up now after the penalty. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Smith. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Here's a give up the middle. Jukes out a one-stop. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
So we're at the 2-minute warning here from Gillette. It's the Raiders with a 1st and 10. Pressure comes. Smith hits him on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They've got a man in motion. From the 36. This ball's cut by Bowers. And he's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or two short of the 25. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Smith to the air now. Finds him over the middle. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. And again, it's Smith. We've got a screen to the running back. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get them enough yards for the 1st, and it did. But so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Now Smith. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. It's 2nd and goal.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
They are throwing it again. And this one's incomplete. Too low as it skips off the ground.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing to be borderline automatic.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Getting out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders grow their lead just before halftime. Geno Smith with a touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Carlson's extra point is good. And the Raiders double their lead to 14. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Antonio Gibson now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. New England taking the field. Its second series of the game coming up. They could use something to trim that deficit, and enough time left to maybe get this near field goal range. There's 35 seconds to go in the half as they are ready to begin their drive. May on 1st and 10. He's on the move. He's running with it. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. So that's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, here's May. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
May now to throw on 3rd. Cut by Gibson. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Patriots will have a 1st down.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
1st down throw for May. Diggs there to bring it in. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Now we're going to have a timeout by New England. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Second down now, 7 to go. To the air yet again, May. Finds a seam down the middle. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. Not much time left in the half, so the kicking team out on 1st down. This will be a 45-yard look from the left hash. The kick by Roddy's good. And that'll get him back to 11.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Going to the ground again on first. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. So at halftime, the Raiders fighting to an advantage on the road. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. These two teams heading out of the tunnel, and we're ready to get back to it. For the call of the second half, here is the great Kate T. Scott. Kate?
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Patriots offense out there to start this third quarter. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's a handoff. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
The humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
They send a man in motion. He'll run for the first time here with Antonio Gibson. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
To the air on 1st down, May. Completed over the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Gibson here from the gun. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. It's a pickup of 11. And that's a New England 1st down.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
Handoff now out of the gun. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Back-to-back carries here. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Throwing off the play fake here. Bails out of the pocket quick. Now here he goes. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And oh, he got it! Interception!
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
The Raiders back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. From the gun, Smith. Rolling left, buying some time. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. The running back gets it on the draw. And he found some running room for a nice gain. He gets them half of what they needed, so after a 7-yard gain, it's 3rd and 7.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Shotgun snap to Smith. It's tipped away, and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down.
Well, both ends of their defense nearly came away with a huge play. Another step, and they sacked the quarterback. But even still, the hit altered the throw and almost set up a takeaway.
Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And the Pats will take over. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. He'll get this to Henry. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Stopped by the unmistakable Max Crosby.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
So we're through 3 here. It's the Patriots with possession, needing to erase that deficit in a hurry. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 37. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Raiders' side of the field. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Short pass brought in. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
New set of downs for him from the 46. May. That's taken in by Henry. And he works this to the 38 before going down.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Hey, look, in the right situation, you catch a team off guard. Well, this could be a tremendous play for some big yards. But in the wrong situation, you get hit in the mouth right behind the line of scrimmage.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he's tackled for a short gain. Just 1 yard on the play. A couple of real nice stops. Forced 4th and 1. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Desperation time here on 4th. It's complete to Hooper. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Give him 24 on that play. And the 4th down call pays off as they'll move the chains.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
A dose of the hurry-up offense here. That one's incomplete in the end zone. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Looking for somewhere to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
We've reached the 2-minute warning in Foxborough. Patriots at a 2-score deficit. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. He'll throw it yet again. And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. And the Raiders Raiders are stopped just outside of their own end zone after the interception.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion.
Now the Raider offense headed back to the field. They're looking to just hang on to the ball through the finish. Defense has all of its timeouts, but with this game out of reach, a good chance they just let it run. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Lone back gets the handoff. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. Second and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Another carry for him. And he'll only get to about the 3. Now we're going to have a timeout by New England. It's second. And they'll have just one left to burn now. Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on 3rd down. They give it to him again. And he's got it up to the 10. Now the Patriots calling their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. The Raiders bringing out the punting unit. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. Got 46 on his first punch, and this one's pushing a little more distance. He takes this in on his side of midfield. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. Nice 12-yard pickup on the return. And the Patriots will take over with some excellent field position. Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. Flush down out to his left.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt. Even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
Patriots trying to hustle everyone up to the line. From the gun, it's May. That one's cut along the left sideline. They'll get 18 yards there. And the Patriots will have a 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Down 2 scores, no timeouts remaining, long odds ahead of them. It's 1st and 10. On play action, here's May. And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted.
You know, Kate, one of the tenets of the West Coast system that I was fortunate to play in, touchdown to check down. Touchdown to check down. You get in the red zone, it's touchdown to check down. You can't put the ball in harm's way. That's a brilliant job by the defense with their coverage, baiting the quarterback into the throw. But you got to sail that one into the stands. Touchdown or check down. You can't possibly give an interception in that situation.
The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. The Raiders nearing a win as he drops to a knee.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Lining up to take a knee on second down. With a win in hand, they'll take the knee, let this clock run out.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So it's a road win for the Raiders in this one. And even fighting that dreaded body clock with a West Coast trip, they played their game, and they're taking this victory back east with them.
So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Heward, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
The Raiders winners, as with that, we'll sign off from New England.